folks, and welcome to another Sunday Morning Samoflange. I'm Matt.
And I'm the missus.
What are you doing here?
You couldn't get anybody else to do
Oh,
it.
I got no friends.
Actually, I offered.
No friends having guy. Well, I was going to get our boy Forrest to do for our first father-son podcast, but he's 3 months old.
He's 4 months today, or yesterday.
4 months. But he usually talks between the hours of 4 and 5 a.m., and it's usually just noises, but he talks the entire hour. Didn't go to bed till 6. That's when he stopped talking.
That's because he laid next to me.
Keeps talking. He keeps talking. Not last night. He kept talking to Daddy. If he doesn't see Daddy or he's not holding Daddy's hand, then he starts crying. But he's holding my hand or he sees me, he just starts talking. Don't know about what. What do you talk about? 5 in the morning. Whatever little man wants. That's the answer to that. But anyway, here we are. Got a nice list here. Shocked I haven't done this one before because I had to look and see because I thought maybe this sounds like a familiar topic, but we never did this one. Top 5 TV shows that deserve a movie. Can't believe I've never done this before. I've thought about this several times.
Well,
made lists before, but
I think I did mine like top 5 TV shows that I don't know if they deserve a movie, but like I would like to see a movie because I would like to see more of the show.
Well, obviously, yeah.
So they deserve one in my opinion.
There you go. They deserve one, and these are not well. Hold on. None of mine are current. I mean, there's a 2000 show on here. I think that's as current as it gets. So nothing in the past 12 years or so.
Oh, well, mine's
probably
just
on this.
all over the place.
Yours is all over the place. Okay.
I predict.
Okay. I Love Lucy the movie.
One crossover.
You're going to predict one.
Yes, I'm going to predict one.
Crossover. So this is hard. I got to go 2 or I got to go 0. Oh, I don't think we'd have 2. I will go 0.
Okay.
I will go 0.
I feel like I'm going to win, but okay.
You feel like you're going to win. All right. So, would you like to go first or would you like me to go first? Who would you like to go first?
I guess I can go first.
You go.
Okay.
What's number 5?
So, number 5, I did not put this genre on my list, although I could have put several from this genre on my list, but I chose not to. Right. Because there's a lot of movies that are already
Then you can do
made.
your honorable mentions right after you mention this, because I think I know.
Well, I don't have very many honorable mentions. I mean, I don't have any honorable mentions, but there's a lot of movies already made in this genre, so...
Funny how he wakes up when you start speaking. Like, whoa, Mom is here? Hold on, I was sleeping beforehand.
He's talking to me.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay, so I'll tell you what it is and I'll tell you why I chose this. So my number 5 is going to be Criminal Minds, Suspect Behavior.
Boy's giving you googie eyes. What's he doing? Anyway, his eyes are going. It looks like he's moving his eyebrows up and down. Like, hey, mama. Hey, mama.
He's tired.
Yeah, okay. So, Criminal Minds.
Okay, Criminal Minds, Suspect Behavior. And the reason
Whoa, a spinoff.
Yes, the reason I chose this one is because...
Because you don't like Matthew Gray Goober.
Oh, no, I love him.
Oh, okay.
And, okay, so this was one season.
Yeah.
And, obviously, they were... I guess planning to do a second season. I don't know, but then they never did. And I got so invested into watching this show that it ended on a cliffhanger with Forrest Whitaker and French Stewart. And it ended, and I was like, wait, what? No. So when I Googled, because I couldn't find the second season, so when I Googled it, there is no second season. And I am so mad that they don't tell you what happened. it goes dark and you hear a gunshot, and I want to know what happened. Did the bad guy win or did the good guy win?
So to my knowledge, I don't think I've ever revealed this on my channel, but I'll go ahead and reveal it. So we know French Stewart personally. He married a friend of mine, and they're still married today. So after you watch, he said,
was so mad.
"Will you please text him and ask him how it was going to end?" And so this TV show had been out for a long time, right?
Oh yeah, like probably I think over 10 years. If I'm not
so
mistaken.
10 years ago.
It may not have been that long. I don't know, but it's been a while.
I texted him and I asked him, do you know?
I was like, please, just tell me.
And he told us that they never told him.
He never found out.
But he was disappointed because he enjoyed it and wanted to see how it concluded too. But they hadn't written how it was going to end because they just wrote the first season. And true enough, they had some ideas, I'm sure, but he was never given a script or told what would happen next.
Here's two things.
He was the villain.
He was.
Yeah.
Which it's funny because I'm a longtime fan of his. I grew up watching Third Rock from the Sun. Loved him. So, okay, one of two things. What?
Go ahead.
Okay, so one of two things. Since you were just talking about it, you just got my wheels turning. Okay, so one, I would like to hear from him, like his take on it, like what he thinks, how he thinks it should have ended, or how he thinks it would have ended.
That's
as an actor, how would he view how it would have ended if they would have done another season, and then secondly, I would love to know if he has any contact with the writers so that I can get just a hint of an idea
really
of what is supposed to happen.
You're going to give me his own movie.
Yes.
It really bothers
yes,
you.
because I want to know how it ended.
It's funny because the first time you met him, I didn't know how to tell you because I told you we were going out to see an old friend of mine, her husband. I didn't tell you who her husband was.
No, you didn't.
And then I was thinking, well, I need to tell her because when we get there and she sees him, she's going to be like, what? So I said, okay, well, I need to tell you who her husband is. And I did. You're like, what? I said, see, that's why I didn't want to tell you. But, and I think that was the first time I met him. I think that was the first time I met him too. Like I talked to him, but I think that's the first time I met him in person. Either way, really nice guy.
Oh yeah.
He was really nice. Anyone who came up to him, he took a picture and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so super nice guy, and still gets work today, and just a great guy all around. But yeah, I that's kind of funny though.
Okay,
right.
So that's your next mission is to reach out to him and find out one of those two things for me. Or if he can just do like a quick phone call just to explain it to me. I just need to know.
I'll ask him next time he's in town if he wants to stop by the podcast too. Come on my podcast.
Please. I just want to know.
That'd be fun. All right, so number 5 for me is probably on your list. It's Star Trek Enterprise.
Oh man, that was my number one.
Scott Bakula. I really love that show. I know a lot of Trek fans didn't, and of course, like you all, I felt the ending was rushed because it got kind of canceled too soon. But I kind of wish they would have given them a movie. I was interested in the storyline. I loved just about every single character on the show, which is kind of rare. There wasn't a lot of dead weight. Very unlike Voyager. It was like the exact opposite of Voyager. You know, where the hologram doctor is the only reason you watch that show, and everyone else is pure garbage. And but then on Enterprise, it's like, oh my god, because I was prepared to hate every single person besides Scott Bakula because I really like him. But I was prepared to hate every single person in that cast, and I ended up because I was just getting off Voyager, and I gave up watching Voyager actually after a while, and I was like, well, I'll give Enterprise a shot, but I don't think they can give me a crew I can fall in love with again, and they did. And I rewatched these not too long ago, and it's still good. So would have loved for them to have gotten a movie there. All right, so what is number 4 for you?
I'm sorry I didn't have a lot of feedback for yours.
That's okay.
Okay, so number 4, this one did end, and I know it's so popular, but I actually missed it when it was like on real TV. When it was like on real time. But I just binge watched it like a few years ago, and I just, it was fine. It ended well, I thought. I just, when you get so invested in a TV show, you just want to know what happens more. So my number 4 would be Friends.
Oh, I should have guessed that. Yeah.
I just feel like it just needs, like...
What would it have had?
Well,
what was unresolved that you figured you
No,
I
think everything was done well. I think it ended well. I think there was nothing, that was unresolved, but... they moved out of the apartment and...
Did you ever watch the reunion?
No, I haven't watched it yet. I know everybody's like, you should watch it.
Oh, yeah, you should.
But I would just like to see, like Monica and Chandler bought a house, out in the country with their, had their kids, and Phoebe had her kid, the twins,
Yeah.
And,
so just see where those friends are.
Just to see, what happened after that. Yeah, with Ross and Rachel. And, I don't know.
I gotcha. I'm going to make a prediction here. That little dude's going to be in your lap before this is over because he's giving you the puppy dog eyes about pick me up, Mama.
Well, he's just staring at me.
Yeah. And he's like, get the point, Mama, because he's been staring at you intently.
Well, he's probably getting hungry, too.
Yeah. All right, so number 4 for me, I'm going to go Scott Bakula again and Quantum Leap. Loved Quantum Leap. It kind of ended kind of sad, where the doctor kind of never got home. And I always thought, and I know for a while Universal did think about making a movie for him. And they didn't. And I would have loved to have seen a movie of Quantum Leap. I thought Quantum Leap had a great story. I'm hesitant to rewatch it because I bet it's just not as good as I recall. Did you ever watch Quantum Leap back in the day? That's late 80s, early 90s. Okay, do you know what it was about?
Yeah, I mean, I'm maybe a couple of episodes.
He would jump through time being someone else,
yeah,
trying to right a wrong.
I remember it coming on TV. I don't know if I can't remember if I ever watched it.
I remember when the show ended and they did his last jump, and I was like, oh. So... But either way, though, I kind of wish it would have gotten a movie. These were the only 5, by the way, that came to my mind. I don't have any honorable mentions. So, all right, go ahead. What is number 3 for you? What's number 3?
Okay, so my number 3 is going to be another show that did end, Scandal.
Oh, dang it. I should have picked all. I could have picked all.
Because I love me some Olivia Pope and Fitz. And again, I would like to know what happened after the fact. After it ended, what happened?
Okay. I'm going to pretend I know what you're talking about.
No, you know. Okay, so that's the Shonda Rhimes show that I would watch. Okay. Olivia Pope.
Yeah, okay.
And the president.
Okay. I know the name of the show.
Tony Goldwyn.
I know the name of the show.
Kerry Washington.
I never watched this show. I don't know actually.
You would walk in whenever. Yeah,
I know you watched it, but I never watched it. So.
Anyway.
Okay, that's
so good. And I would just like to know what happened after.
Just want to know what happened after. Okay. So Scandal. I'll be honest, my former boss would put this at number 1 on her list because she was a huge Scandal fan. I remember when she was down visiting, I said, well, how late do you want to stay? She went, we can say late. She was like, oh, wait, I got to go home. I got to go home before whatever, 8:30. I said, why? You got to get to bed. You bed early? She went, no, I forgot tonight is Scandal. And I don't miss Scandal.
So, funny story, and I probably shouldn't say this on here, but I'm going to tell you how I got into watching it. So, when I was working in a clinic and it snowed and they closed everything down. The office was right down the road from the house.
Yeah.
So they still had to have people go in to answer the phones and stuff. So I went in and one of the nurses went in and nobody they didn't even close clinic because they thought patients would still come. So anyway, we were there and the doctor didn't even show up that day. And so there was absolutely nothing for us to do. No phone calls were coming in, no patients were coming in. And so my coworker was like, hey, I'm going to pull up my
Netflix or whatever.
Yeah, and watch the show. And I was like, oh, okay, what are you watching? She was like, I'm watching Scandal. So I watched one episode with her. It wasn't even the first episode. It was
Oh my
like in the
goodness.
middle. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I have to go back and see how this started. And she said, it's so good. So then I started watching it from the beginning. And then we would talk about it and then I finally caught up with her. And then anyway, she moved away and to Houston. And when the show ended, I still kept in touch with her, and I'm like, okay, we have to talk about this. So it's such a great show. It is such a great show.
Okay, all right. I should have been guessing all these too. My number 3 is a show that only went one season, and I may have put this on shows that deserve another season. I can't remember. But the show was called, and this is weird, because I don't know if this counts. But no. This TV show did not get its own movie, yet it was a spin-off from a movie, Limitless, with your boy Bradley Cooper.
Well, yeah. I was going to say,
and Bradley Cooper was in the TV show a little bit here and there, which I thought was really good. And I wanted to know how it ended. And it only went one season. We didn't get to hear what the grand master plan was. So another Limitless movie, this time wrapping up the characters from the TV storyline, is what I really would have wanted to see. And you know who got me to watch that?
Who?
Dad.
Oh, yeah?
Dad watched it and said, oh, it was really good. I said, Dad, did you watch the movie? He went, well, yeah, I heard there was a movie about it. And Dad watched the movie later on and said, yeah, I thought it was good, but the TV show was really good. I was like, what? Dad is like king of watching these shows that go on the air for one season and then gone and then don't conclude. Dad's watched a few shows like that. But I finally got around to watching it a few years back, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't know it connected to the movie. You know, I thought, oh, they're just kind of redoing the storyline with a different character, you know, in a longer story. Because it was an interesting movie. When I saw it, I was like, wow, that's an interesting idea. And no, Bradley Cooper came back. He's finished his run as the senator, and now he's running for president. So it happens 4 years after the movie. And the show came out, I think, 4 years later. But
how many seasons?
Only one season.
Oh, one season.
Only one season.
I don't know. I might would watch it.
And Bradley Cooper, he makes like maybe 3 appearances in it. You know, I mean, here and there he comes in, but he's got some grand master plan, and he's not got. He said, "I'll tell you later. You're on a need to know basis." And so the guy's trying to figure out what his master plan is, and you never figure it out because the show kind of ends, which is kind of sad. So that's why it's number 3 on my list.
So that's like your criminal mind suspect behavior.
I guess. Mm-hmm. There was no killer or French, so.
But it still left you wanting to know how it ended.
I won't give this one away, but what is your number 2?
Okay, so my number 2. So I don't know if you even know what the show is, but so okay, this was popular and it still is. I had no idea what it was. I'd seen previews and people talking about it and memes and t-shirts and you know it's everywhere. Yeah. So you know during COVID, well I say that last year I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna go ahead and start it, and I needed something to watch, so I started watching it. But my number 2 is Schitt's Creek.
Hey now, watch your mouth.
It is so good and so funny. It's got Dan and Eugene Levy in it. It's got Annie Murphy, and it has Catherine O'Hara, you know, the mom from Home Alone. Mm-hmm. She is the best. She is fabulous in this show. But it is so good. Like, I was not surprised at how much I loved it because it's so popular. It still is popular, even though it's ended. But this is another one. It's like, you know, how it ends. I just want to keep watching to see what happens.
What happens
even
next?
After. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, it's so good.
Okay. There you go.
And I just wanted to know too who Alexis ended up with.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Pumpkin.
By the way, I called it. He's in your arms. He's giving you the googie face.
Only because he's eating.
No, not only because he's eating. He's a big Mama fan. It seems like sometimes when he cries, he says Mama, which is really funny.
It is pretty funny.
Because I looked at you the first time I said it. I said, is he saying mama? It sounds like he's saying mama.
He
Mama,
probably is.
Mama.
He might be.
Oh boy. And he can grab some mommy hair like nobody's business. I think he has a tighter kung fu grip than Meridian did.
Oh, yeah. And I think that's why she loves him so much.
He's a super strong dude there. He got his sister by the hair the other day. He wouldn't let go. And Meridian's like, Mom, Dad. Mom, Dad. He's just sitting there smiling away like, gotcha. Teach you. You think you can just get in my face and walk away? I'll teach you.
So funny.
Funny dude. All right, so my number 2 also has a French Stewart guest. He guested on the show.
I know what this is.
What?
But they have a movie, so never mind. Maybe I don't know.
No, it's Stargate Universe.
I was going to say Stargate, but then I was like, no, there's
He was
a
in
Stargate movie.
He played a different character in Stargate Universe because he's older. And I thought that was always funny. And he loved going back to the series, he said. But Stargate Universe, we never got to see how they made it back home. I don't think the TV show was that good. I think it had some excellent episodes in it here and there. But overall was a huge step down from SG-1 and Atlantis. Yes, Atlantis possibly deserves its own movie too. But the reason because it's better, I would have loved to have seen an Atlantis movie. An Atlantis movie probably would have been better overall. But the reason I say universe is because I wanted to see how it ended. I wanted to see how they got back. I mean, dadgummit. And of course, this is it kind of killed off the entire franchise because it was not good. 2 seasons and it just got canceled. They tried to copy Battlestar Galactica, which was hot at the time. And no one wanted just a cheap knockoff of Battlestar Galactica.
I remember watching some of the, I watched a lot of Stargate with you. And
yeah,
I remember.
There's some really good universe episodes. My favorite one is probably being where it starts off where they watch a video of them all dying on a planet before they even went down to the planet.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Because there's one of their droid cams went down. They're like, what is it doing there? Because they found out they get stuck in a time loop. So they decided to go down to the planet because that's how they can get rid of the time loop. And during the whole episode, you think they're going to learn from their mistakes, but they all end up dying. And then at the very end, I can't remember his name, he throws he records the cam droid, says, learn from our mistakes, try again. And that's how it ends. Like they died in their second attempt, so they're going for it again. And eventually, I guess they got out. But I was like, wow, because you thought, oh, they've learned from their mistakes. And then one person dies, like, whoa. And then they all start dying, like, what's going on? So, but they had some decent episodes here and there, but overall, not so good.
I mean, I thought, the show. What I watched
SG-1 is still my favorite. I know a lot of people are Atlantis fans, and Atlantis is great. Has your boy Jason Momoa in it.
I forgot he was in
young, skinny, tall Jason Momoa.
It must have been around the time he did Baywatch.
Yeah, probably after. But, yeah, he was Stream Beam there. But he was a really cool guy, and everyone was great in Atlantis. But SG-1 was always my favorite. And still is today. It's still a great show. I did rewatch those, but I will rewatch them again someday. All right, so here we go. This must be the crossover.
Yeah, this is the one I figured would be a crossover. Now, I don't know if it would be your number 1, but it may not be a crossover at all. But anyway.
Okay. Survivor. I'm kidding.
No. I don't want a Survivor movie.
Okay. What is number 1 for the missus?
Sorry, I didn't know if he was joking.
That's all right.
Okay, so my number 1... I know, Pumpkin.
Now he wants to talk.
Okay, so my number 1 is going to be Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, I should have picked that one.
And I say that because...
I knew you'd like that one.
One, I just absolutely hated the way it ended, but whatever. Okay, again, like... I want to know what happened to his sons.
Right.
Like, I know there's been talks of another TV show. One, after the series ended, and then one like a prequel.
And you're kind of done with Mayans. And I'll be honest, this season is.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I was into it the first season, and then I just got confused and lost this season.
Even though I should have you watch the last episode.
You watched it without me?
Well, you were not watching anymore. You fell asleep.
Well, I was tired.
Okay. You missed it.
Oh,
Teague.
I don't
Yes.
know what that means.
Teague.
Yeah.
From
Oh,
Sons of Anarchy.
no.
He guest starred.
Why you didn't wake me up?
I said, look who it is. Because they just show the jacket, then they show the hair, and I'm going, shut up.
And
then, of course,
I
it shows
knew
him.
he was going to be on it because
Yeah.
So I followed them on all social media, and I think it was Twitter. They had mentioned he was going to be on it.
Yeah, but mine's is pretty much garbage right now.
I mean, I feel like they try to do too much.
Well, they had
so
this
fast.
big ending in the last season, and then this season, it's like they just didn't know what to do, so they hit the reset button. I was like, that is totally dumb. Please don't tell me you're going to just ignore all the events. And yeah, they did. They just skipped forward a year and say, okay, everything's back to normal again. And I'm like, no.
Because I was like, wait, what happened to this person? Like, why is she, like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
And you were like, remember, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I don't.
Yeah,
I
and
don't
all the big deaths are pointless, too.
But you start bringing in the Sons of Anarchy guys, and I'll keep watching. But no, I would be interested, if they ever do another, series of a spin-off or a prequel, I would be interested. It's not going to be as good as the original, but man, it makes me want to go ahead and start watching.
It was so funny because that's the show that you didn't watch with me.
No.
And then you watched the last season, you went, I'm going to go back and watch it. I said, why are you going to watch it? I really like this.
Okay, no.
I thought it was a show you would not like.
I know, and it should be a show I do not like because all of the stuff in it, I'm like, oh, that's not my
violent,
forte.
They're foul people, and
It's just not. It's not my.
You're the person who watches all the Hallmark Christmas movies.
I know. So I'm so surprised. I love this show so much. But it's funny because I remember you would always talk about it, and I'm like, not interested. And I would even walk through the living room when you were watching it, and I'd be like, oh, so bad, like so disgusting. And I don't know. You were in the last season, and I guess I was sitting on the couch or something when you were watching it, and like you've said before, if I'm on my phone, I am not interested. And I remember I was on my phone, and then I don't think I picked my phone back up once I started watching it because I got so into that episode, and I started watching the rest of them, and I was like, yep, I'm gonna go back and watch from the beginning. But I watched the ending, and you were like, why? You just ruined it. And I'm like, no, it's gonna make all of this, all of the other stuff make sense. Such it like pulls at your heartstrings so many times, and you just want to scream at the TV a lot of times.
Are you talking about Opie?
Yes. I think we might have talked about this before, but that is one of the worst things that has happened in TV show history.
You did not like that.
I didn't see it coming. You didn't even warn me that it was coming.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to know Kurt Sutter just hates that he did that.
Yeah.
And regrets it.
Then you got to figure out who his dad was in real life.
That was fun.
You realized why you loved him so much.
That was fun.
Yeah. All right.
Such a nice guy.
All right. So my number one, Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's one of the best Star Trek shows out there. It should have gotten its own movie. I love the entire cast. I always thought it should have gotten a movie. I thought when they stopped doing Next Generation movies, they've got to do at least one Deep Space Nine movie, and they just never did. And it's total bogus because that whole entire cast was excellent. That's a show I think if you gave a shot and watched, you would love it. Oh, now Miss Ellis giving me the eye now. Like, hey, Daddy, what's up? I heard someone was sucking on a bottle earlier, and now I want some of that. Goodness. All right. So, little man, anything to add there? Any honorable mentions, Mrs.?
No, there was one that I was going to put on my list, but then I was like, I couldn't remember exactly how it ended. But it was a great TV show, but I couldn't remember if it was one that I would want to know what happened or if it just ended very well. But 24.
True, yeah.
Because that was a really good TV show.
How long of a movie would that be? I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
I should actually add that to my list of shows to go back and watch.
Uh-oh. Grab Dad. Get ready.
I'd have to do the pushies for him.
Oh, you would. But anyway, all right, folks. Hey, let us know. What are your 5 TV shows that you thought deserved a movie? And
Yeah, because I'm always looking for TV shows to watch. So
and give the missus some TV shows where Opie dies.
No, I'm
No.
open to suggestions on good TV shows too.
Okay. But
Old
meaning,
and new.
Meaning like Sons of Anarchy, you want?
Any kind of
okay.
TV show.
You like murder mystery stuff and
yes,
crime stuff.
But I'm not, like, I tried to watch American Horror Story, and I would probably not go that direction. But any others are open.
All right. So
I'm
there
open
you
to.
go. All right.
And then if you suggest one, and I watch it, I'll give you my feedback on it.
No, there you go. There you go. Now they're motivated. All right, folks. Well, we'll see you next time on
Saturday
Morning
Samoflange.
That was okay.